emotional words there from Dr. Swaminathan's daughter, as I said, an economist in her own right, echoing in a way what you're saying. You can't criminalize farmers, you can't demonize them, you have to give them the right to protest, you have to listen to your annadata. The counter argument has been that Punjab's farmers, aapne bhi ye bahut suna hoga ki Punjab's farmers think they're the only farmers in India. There are other farmers also. There are crops that are not covered by MSP and so on. This is Punjab farmers speaking for the entire country's farmers. How do you respond to that criticism that is sometimes brought to the doorstep of the farmers' movement?
Well, what is wrong in that? If Punjab farmers are fighting for the national farmers, what is wrong in that, I want to ask? Why is it that we think that it is only a creation of Punjab farmers that they are creating a scene where the government has to retaliate? I don't think so. The fact of the matter is these farmers get minimum support price for wheat and paddy, and yet they are standing up for legalizing MSP for all crops, which means it's going to benefit farmers across the country. That is what Punjab farmers are standing for. Let us appreciate them. Let us applaud them that they are, in fact, raising the demand for the entire country, for the farmers of the entire country. A. B. I think it should be important to understand that, Delhi is close to, or let's say Punjab is close to Delhi, Haryana is close to Delhi, UP is close to Delhi, Rajasthan is close to that. That is where farmers can come and demand what the entire farming community needs. We have seen that farmers who were traveling from Karnataka were taken off in Madhya Pradesh, beaten, and so on and so forth. So it tells us that it's very difficult to come from different parts of the world as well as from the country to come and protest in Delhi. I think Punjab farmers are, in any case, it's very clear that they get an assured MSP. They are actually not interested in what they are getting. They are saying for the rest of the country, we need minimum support price, a legal mechanism.
Now, Mr. Sharma, Professor Sharma, the BJP's supporters have said that this is a politicized timing. This is coming right before the elections. Farmers leaders that I've been interviewing say that, of course, we are not fools. We know that in election season, हमारी बात ज़्यादा सुनी जाएगी. तो हम ये deny नहीं करते that we are trying to get political attention at a time when it could come to us. Now we are getting word that Rahul Gandhi is going to be joining the protest. In the clips that you're seeing, he spoke to one of the injured farmers, a former soldier of the army. Do you believe this is a welcome development, or do you believe it will hurt the cause of the farmers? Because, as it is, the BJP is saying कि ये तो सब राजनीति है.
If I look at your first question, to say that, farmers are timing it with the elections, I think let's be very clear. Even awards are given in this country looking at elections. So why blame the farmers? Farmers are also people who are alert. They can also strategize. And if they are doing it before election and they know that it will have an impact, there's nothing wrong in it. Everybody does that. A. Now, B, I think, Barkha, you had a very popular show called Where the Buck Stops. We all know that the buck stops at the political level, at the decision making is at that particular level. So if other political parties are joining, I think if the protesting farmers, I'm sure, would have taken a decision, would have taken a call on this, whether they allow this time the politicians to come and be on their stage and so on and so forth. If they are allowing, I think that is their take. I can't answer on behalf of the agitating farmers, but it is very clear that everyone tries to see how to get the best out of what they are trying to protest or demand. And given the elections are around the corner, I don't think farmers are wrong, because they have, if you look at the earlier protest, that was in 2021. That time there was no election. And yet farmers were demanding the same kind of demand, I would say, if in addition to the withdrawal of the laws, they were still trying to work out that we have to have a legal mechanism for minimum support price. And the government at that time did, say that, yes, we will set up a committee and so on and so forth. But 1.5 years has passed. I think, the patience is running thin and the farmers are coming and protesting. I think the government needs to sit and listen to them. And then, of course, get into explaining to them whether it's possible or not. And then I think that is the way forward. We need a dialogue to take place. Nobody wants a kind of a confrontation happening. I'm sure neither the farmer nor the government. But I think the overreaction that the government has demonstrated this time is a cause for worry.
A final question. What is the way forward? The point is that this is an outgoing government. It may well be the party that wins the third term, but this is an outgoing government. In the immediate, nothing probably can be done anyway. But at least once the model code of conduct is declared, possibly not. So the window for action is very, very limited. So what is the way forward? Secondly, the Congress, if it is supporting this agitation, as now the news comes in of Mr. Gandhi joining it, the states that are managed by the Congress can do this at their own level. They can offer the legal MSP at their own level, can't they?
Well, states can do a little. I don't deny that. Like for instance, Punjab wanted to give a deficiency price for moong, but they didn't have the money to pay the entire deficiency cost that came up. And similarly, I don't think the rest of the country, the states can afford to pay for the minimum support price that the farmers are demanding. What I'm trying to see here is why is there is a reluctance to give farmers a legal assurance or a guaranteed minimum support price? Why? Just because a section of the economists of this country feel that it will distort the markets. I think that's not the way forward. Let's have a dialogue. In fact, I can tell you very clearly that we have examined all those aspects, and there is no other way unless we provide a guaranteed price to farmers, that farmers can be pulled out of the serious or severe crisis that exists in this country. And not only in this country, globally, farmers are actually fighting for guaranteed price. In America, it is called as income parity, but in India, we call it guaranteed price. So if farmers all over the world are fighting for a guaranteed price, I think it is time to examine, time to see how we can provide farmers with a guaranteed price. Nothing wrong in that. Like all of us, they too need an assured income. What is wrong in this? I don't understand. And why should economists say that, oh, markets are the best judge, so markets will provide the right kind of income to the farmers? Well, if it was so, I don't understand why the government employees are demanding that we revert back to the old pension scheme. The new pension scheme, as we know, was linked to markets, and markets haven't given them the right kind of pension. So they are wanting to go back. And look at the government. Government has set up a committee, which, according to news reports, is saying that we will tinker with the markets to see that you at least get 40% of your last pay drawn as pension. Now, if that means clearly, if for the employees, they understand that markets are not working. But for the farmers, they think, leave them to the markets. That is what I call Bhagwan Bharose. No, I think the time has come when we need to provide farmers with a guaranteed price. Your second question, what will happen? Your time is very short. I think if you remember.
And I just want to say, as you're speaking, my colleague Harshit has sent us these images of farmers who have been injured. And we can play those shots. You can see their farmers in the local hospitals having been injured, in these clashes with police, where tear gas shells and water cannons, among other sort of weapons, have been deployed to prevent the march of farmers to the capital. Go ahead, Professor Sharma, with your last thoughts.
Yeah, the point that we can't do it, the argument that guaranteed price cannot be imposed, I think that the best way is to sit for a dialogue. Let's work it out, and then see how do we implement it. But all I'm saying is, just because farmers, if they get a higher price, and many people feel that the profits that the companies have been making, because agriculture provides the raw material for the companies, that will be reduced. I think that is not fair enough, a kind of a justification to see that agriculture remains perpetually indebted. Farmers can't be left to be in poverty for all times to come. I think it is a challenge for us. It is a time for us. And I think this is also something that the world is looking forward to. Let India stand up and show the way to the world. That's what I feel that both the farmers as well as the government should look forward to.
Well, a tense and unfortunate situation building up as Dr. Swaminathan's daughter there, almost in tears, said that farmers cannot be treated, those who provide us our food, our grains, cannot be treated as villains and criminals. But at the same time, with such a short window, once the election dates are announced, the model code of conduct will set into place, even in terms of policy change. In my understanding, Professor Sharma, the window is very short. What can immediately happen before we say thank you to you? What can immediately happen?
Well, I think the government needs to give a commitment in writing that they will do it. They stand by it and they will do it. I think that's something which can come immediately. And before the model code of conduct, there can be a couple of dialogues happening so that we see how we can smoothen that kind of a process. This is something that is doable. And I think time has come when government needs to stand up with the farmers. After all, we all know that only 14% of the farmers in India get minimum support price. 86% farmers are dependent on the markets. If markets were so good, I don't see why farmers should be protesting. So the fact of the matter is that markets have failed to provide farmers with a higher income, not only in India, but everywhere in the world. And I think it is time to learn from the debacle that agriculture has seen across the globe. And remember, M.S. Swaminathan, if he not only Bharat Ratna, he was something that the nation is proud of, someone that the nation is proud of. And if M.S. Swaminathan had recommended C2 plus 50 as the MSP farmer should be given, I'm sure you will all agree that he knew what he was doing. It wasn't, like our economist and policymaker who say it is not doable. M.S. Swaminathan knew it was doable, and I'm sure he would have been equally pained today to see the kind of a war zone that we have created for the farmers. I hope we draw a lesson, and we see we do not build up more escalations or more tension as the days proceed or days to come.